better. We do better. And so we need to do better for the people in this community, for the people that are suffering. And like I said, we need to give people a chance.
She was very bravely giving her testimony there. That's Alicia Jeffrey Baker, the mother of 11-year-old Emmy, who died along with her grandparents in the devastating Texas floods on July 4th. Survivors of the tragedy testified in front of Kerrville officials this week after 27 young girls died at Camp Mystic. At least 135 others died in the disaster that ravaged Central Texas. Joining us now to talk more is Democratic Texas State Representative Ann Johnson. Great to see you again.
Good to see you too.
This is just heart-wrenching to watch. What was your biggest takeaway after you heard from the families at that joint committee session this week?
The families that came up, the majority of them were from what's called Camp Mystic, and they refer to their daughters as Heaven's 27. There were 27 individuals, most of them 8-year-olds from a cabin and their counselors that died because of the floodwaters. Those families have made it very clear that they are living in the most unimaginable nightmare, that they don't want anybody else to suffer. And so they have come to Texas to demand that at this moment, we take seriously the need for disaster preparedness and flooding, because Texas continues to see extreme weather and flooding that is leading to a loss of lives. And so they do not want this moment to go without action.
Well, that's exactly right. I mean, and there's been a lot of folks saying, look, this is unprecedented and you can't stop a natural disaster, but you can be a bit more prepared. And folks have talked about sirens. They've talked about warning systems of some sort that could have been in place. They've talked about the cabins that perhaps shouldn't have been so close to the river to begin with. What are you doing to ensure something like this does not happen again? Because parents want to know across the country, this resonated with everybody, I think. They want to know their kids are safe when they go to camp.
No, that's exactly right. And God causes the weather, but man in this instance caused the disaster. What we had learned was that despite the fact that there was a warning system that was needed along that river because others had died in the past, there was not the commitment to invest in that infrastructure. And so what we have done over this past week is to pass a commitment and a need to help with getting infrastructure in places for proper warning systems. But also there's a heartbreaking op-ed by one of the fathers today in the Houston Chronicle about the fact that his daughter and many of the children died because she followed the instructions of the leadership on the camp. She stayed put when they should have physically attempted to reach higher ground. And so we also are requiring that we have better safety instructions, better inspection, and better evacuation plans. We cannot no longer leave it. These camps have got to do something to prepare for this extreme event. And so we hope that the regulation where loopholes have been put in place or people have sought exemptions because they were grandfathered into flood zones, that we correct that. We should not have 8-year-old babies cabins on a flood zone in an area known as Flash Flood Alley.
Yeah, and look, the allure of going to summer camp very much is, you know, you get away from technology and all of those creature comforts, but in this case, it potentially could have saved a life. Just got about 30 seconds for you. We're going to switch gears and talk, if we can, about your reaction to what's happening in the state of Texas and the state Senate passing the new congressional map there. I know you and your colleagues had fled. What's your reaction?
Obviously, I don't agree with it. I think it is an attempt to steal 5 seats before the next election because folks are afraid of voters. And the next step is to go to the courts. I do believe that these maps are discriminatory in nature and violate Section 2 of the Voting Rights Act. So we'll see, just as the Fifth Circuit has recently found similar actions in Louisiana. I pray that the courts will do the right thing here and correct this injustice and get us back to voters selecting their elected officials.
So again, the state Senate has passed it. It's headed to the governor's desk, and Governor Abbott is expected to sign it. Texas State Representative Ann Johnson, thank you so much for your time, and our hearts are continuing to go out to you and all the residents there who dealt with this horrible tragedy from July 4th. Thank you.
Thank you.